Strength in Numbers. Today we're talking to Atlanta-based rapper Timothy Flew and Joel from the Yellow Boyz. Timothy and Joel are both featured on the Strength in Numbers album. Tim is on the song Top Down with rapper Mike Byers, and Yellow Boyz' song You Not My Girl. I feel really lucky to be able to talk to both of them at the same time today. Thanks again for making time to speak with us.
Oh yeah, absolutely, anytime.
I don't know who wants to go first.
This is my interview, so I'm going first.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and where you're from and how you got started in music?
As you said, I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, born and raised. I wrote my first rap when I was 13 or 14. I just kept at it because I loved it. It was fun for me. It was a great outlet to express myself. And I'm pretty damn good at it.
And what inspired you to go into a hip-hop career specifically? Like, do you have any influences?
Growing up, when I first started out, I was really into like lyrical hip-hop, a lot of East Coast stuff, a lot of Nas, Jay-Z, Biggie, Mos Def, Talib Kweli, Common, Eminem, I could go on. As I got older and went to high school and started smoking weed and shit, I started listening to a lot of Southern stuff like 3 6 Mafia, UGK, Ball and G. All of that sort of influenced my style. Like, if you listen to my music, I'm kind of lyrical. I like rhyme schemes, I like wordplay, but I also have a certain swag to myself. I like to show off, you know, I like to flex, I like to talk fly shit. All of that is kind of Timothy Flew.
Oh yeah. When it came to listening to music, all I had to listen to was what my parents listened to, which consisted of Celine Dion, Beethoven, Mozart. So there was no radio music going on there. And then I met Paul and Albert, the other two members of the Yellow Boyz, who emphasized why I should like hip-hop more. It just went on from there. 7 years of violin and 11 years of piano transferred into hip-hop beats. And the only time I listen to hip-hop, if I'm at a show or if I'm about to make a hip-hop track that needs to be this sound or that sound. When Yellow Boyz first started, I remember answering this question in Korea, and my influences were like, maybe, you know, Kanye West, Bjork. I listen to everything but hip-hop. So when it comes down to making hip-hop, I always bring that different curve to bring to the mix when Al P wants to make a hip-hop track or pass.
He's like the Celine Dion of the Yellow Boyz.
Basically.
So you belt out like ballads.
Oh, he can sing.
Yeah. I never use auto. No, that's a lie.
So now I'm interested in knowing where you both got your names.
When I first started rapping, I went under the name of Fluent. All my friends used to just call me Flu. Like, what's up, Flu? Let me jump on the track, Flu. And so I just stuck with that. Problem was, when I would search my name in music on Google, I would be on like the 8th or 9th page after swine flu and chicken flu. So I was like, I'm just going to put my real name in. So that's my real name, no gimmicks. I make real music for real people. This is me.
For Jeniside, that's probably like 5th name I've made up for myself because, you know, making a name for yourself is like a character that you're supposed to be for the rest of your life in some RPG game called rap. So Jeniside is what I made up because it started with a G, but G could sound like J. So my name is Joel. So Jeniside, that could be cool. Unlike Flu here, when I typed in Jeniside and I go to I'm feeling lucky, it goes to my page. Honestly, it will not be the last because I might just be comfortable with my own name because I think that's dope.
He's a genocidal maniac. That's what he is.
Did both of you receive support from your family in pursuing a music career?
My dad doesn't even know I rap.
Interesting.
Honestly, it's not the most accepted career choice for Asian people. So what I want to do is I want to reach a level of success where it's undeniable. I want to be able to show my dad I'm rocking 50,000 people. You know, I want to show him clips of that. I want to show him newspaper clippings of me in Taiwan rocking 100,000 people. Like, wow, my son's really doing it. I have nothing to say. Because otherwise it's going to be like, what are you doing? You're rapping. You think you could be a singer? You should have been a doctor. you know, the typical Asian stuff.
Where does he think you go when you go to the studio or you go to a show?
I don't know. He probably thinks I'm hanging out with girls or something.
And what about you, Joel?
I could speak for Flu because after, you know, the Yellow Boyz did go on Korean national television, whatever neighbor searched for 3 weeks, top search, till this day, if I'm not here and I'm just lounging out at home, they'll be like, what are you doing?
What are you doing with your life?
And what do I answer? How can I answer that? Even till this day, when all that happened, still the same story. How much money is that? We spend money to make money. It's an investment still to this day for us. My parents are still looking at me like, you know, Korean television isn't enough. 2 tours, Korean television, and everything you just did in 1 year isn't enough. We're still working on it.
And so how would you describe your music?
I really can't put it in a box. I mean, you know, it's very Southern with like an East Coast influence. But recently, I've been doing a lot of alternative stuff. You know, I've been listening to a lot of different music. I'm trying to make different kind of music. Like the album that I'm dropping after the mixtape, It's unlike anything I've ever done. So right now I'm kind of in the process of trying to find my sound, but everything I've done to this point is very Southern with the East Coast influence. But I love soul samples and jazz samples. It's got a lot of soul in it, a lot of feel-good music.
Analyzing the demographic of our surroundings, which consists of parties, clubs, females with big booties, looking at all that and coming out with sentimental tracks in between. Yeah, that's basically what the Yellow Boyz are. I mean, when it comes down to the American version and the Korean version, it's just your typical party boy.
But they're very lyrical as well.
All that being said, with the party, we always try to bring that lyrical because that's where we came from. I could forget to even say sometimes. It's just a requirement when we come to make a track.
And how did you both get involved with the Strength in Numbers project?
Maybe about 3 years ago, I won a contest where Jen, the MC, he did a verse for me, one of my songs. I sent that song featuring Jen, the MC, to Chops, and he checked it out. You know, he liked my style, he liked my music. Fast forward maybe a year or two later, he reached out to me and said, hey, I'm putting together this Asian American compilation of the greatest Asian American MCs, you know, and he wanted me to be a part of it. So it ended up being me and Mike Bars, and we knocked that track out. Shout out to Mike Bars too, man. He's an incredible MC. He's like one of the best in Atlanta. Like, fuck all the Asian shit. Like, he's honestly like one of the best MCs, period, in that. Big respect to that guy.
One of the Yellow Boyz come out to me because I was just minding my own business one day, and I got introduced to this opportunity. Was shown the beat. We made a song to one beat he sent to us. Chops didn't like it. So I was just like, no. And then he sent us another beat, or maybe he gave us two at the same time, and then we just recorded on a different one. A couple months later, it ended up being like this huge elaborate plan sent to me, recorded on it. A couple months later, Twitter's blowing up, YouTube, Google Hangout.
Where did you get the inspiration for both the songs?
For me and Mike Bars, the song, the beat had a very laid-back, old-school Southern feel to it, like an old-school UGK beat. And so I just started playing with ideas like, you know, having like a chopped and screwed segment on it, you know, talking about riding around with the top down. Because in the South, everybody drives. It's not like New York where, you know, you have to take the bus and the subway and all that. Like, we are a very car-dominant culture. So, you know, just riding around top down with the speakers booming, smoking weed, whatever, you know. That's basically where the influence came from. It was just a very Southern track, which I thought Mike Bars was a great pick. Like, in the beginning, Mike Bars, like, I didn't think Chops knew about it, but I bumped into Mike Bars, like, at shows all around Atlanta. So I was like, yo, this dude would be a great beat. You should contact me, Chop. That's where that track came about.
For the You Not My Girl track, after Chops denied the first masterpiece, Paul came up with the second idea of You Not My Girl. You can go more in depth, Paul. The second idea of a song, You Not My Girl, and I just wrote to that, and I could deal with past experiences with go along with it.
The Mountain Brothers, oh yes, man. Like, when I found out Chops reached out to me for that, I was like, man, that's crazy. Because like when I grew up, like when I first started rapping, I was like, I searched for Asian MCs too, you know, like when I was like 15, 16, I was like, are there any Asians doing this rap shit? So I did my research, and I was like, wow, the Mountain Brothers, they were the first Asian American hip hop group to get signed to a major label. I'm sorry, Chops, but I downloaded Tell Volume 1. It's great music, you know, Galaxies, Paper Chase, those are classics. I love the beats. It was some great A stuff. I really appreciated their music and what they did.
Same details. Our old manager, Kubla, told me about the Mountain Brothers during the same time. Yeah, everything Flu said applies to me. I did not go and search out music of Asian people, but I definitely knew who were the OGs when it came down to, like, you know, who did it first. Chops got my respect on that.
It's a unity, because there aren't too many of us with the stereotypes against us. We need to make a statement, and we do have very talented artists that can go toe-to-toe with anybody in the world. Having Chops put this all together and unifying best talents in America, I feel like it's a great thing. It's a revolutionary idea.
It took a lot of time for me to actually appreciate the idea, because I did hear the title a long time ago, but recently I could relate to it. Strength in Numbers is a round table with a group of people that had the same struggles as you and are willing to go the extra mile with you, living and learning.
What does it feel like to be an Asian American at hip-hop shows, ciphers?
The thing about Atlanta, we got a nickname in Atlanta, Black Hollywood. I don't know if you've heard that term about Atlanta before, but it's definitely Black Hollywood. Like, usually when I go to hip-hop shows, I'm like, me and a few of my homeboys, we're like the only Asian people there. I take it as an advantage. I love it because it gives me more attention. When I'm on stage, and I see a whole sea of black people looking at me like what is he about to do? And when I just start snapping, everybody's like, oh my God, this guy can, oh my Lord, this dude's amazing. You know, I love the attention. I use it to my advantage.
I love it. Every time the Yellow Boyz perform a show, 3, 4, 7 people perform before us. It's always the same story. We kill it every time. Unless it's a very new song, we're kind of like, you know, nervous about it, like, because it's all elaborate last minute. Usually how the story goes, we go into a different demographic, kill it. That's usually how it goes. People come up to us, ask for our numbers, contact information. Oh, let's do something.
Yeah, exactly. Hip-hop has no color, in my opinion. Hip-hop has no color. Like, honestly, I wouldn't even want to put myself in that Asian box. You know, I just want to be recognized as a dope artist. You know, I don't want to be known as the dope Asian artist. I want to be dope but it does help in standing out. It gives me more attention. I stand out more. So it's just another tool in the arsenal. I guess the stereotype definitely doesn't help in that regard. In media, period. Like, you don't see a lot of male Asian leads in Hollywood. Asians in media, period. In the industry, period. It's a stereotype, you know, that's what brings us down. But that's also why I really appreciate Chops doing this whole project, because it really shows the whole world like what we really are capable of, and like, you know, you can't judge a book by its cover, basically.
I remember back in the day when I saw an Asian person in a TV commercial, just a nonchalant, like, whatever, Crest toothpaste TV commercial, and I remember it, I was like, oh, that looks so weird, like, why is he acting like, don't do that, don't do me like that, man. It's been growing over the years, but it's not really something that's being, like, talked about. Asian character in a leading role, Walking Dead. If we were to have it anyway as Asians, if we had a choice, we wouldn't want it to be said out like that, like, oh, an Asian guy like this. For us, yeah, sure, on all the blogs and all that. For the masses and mainstream, I don't think that's necessary, because, you know, we have a whole bunch of diverse friends now, and it's not new. For us, it's kind of like a melting ice type of thing. When it comes to hip-hop, it's definitely harder in America.
Who's an ideal producer that you'd want to work with, or an artist?
I would like to work with DJ Burn One, simply because he has that old school Southern sound. Organized Noise, the legendary DJ Premier, Pete Rock.
I would love to work with Pharrell. Kanye West, of course, I feel like I deal with that, and I have people tell me, no, you can't do that. But he reached a point where, even though people tell him that, he does it anyway. Korean producers are freaking sick. Yeah. They're just like machines over there, whatever they do.
To be able to manipulate time, go into the past, go into the future. I also would like to fly or 2014, we have a lot of big plans here at Unique One Productions. I've got a mixtape coming out in February. I've got a album that I want to drop in the fourth quarter, and I definitely want to do like a whole bunch of shows and just get my name out. You know, I consider 2014 to be like my foot in the door. Stay tuned.
We definitely have a lot of stuff prepared for us here in Georgia. When it comes to Asian people doing music, teams have been formed when music as a future was being considered, and a lot of alliances, but recently a lot of the United States of Asian America here in Georgia in music. Things are about to go crazy. Just, man, everybody's just on the same wavelength. It's crazy the energies that we feel here. YouTube, Yellow Boyz, you're going to see a lot of stuff.
To make a long story short, we got our own little strength in numbers thing going on in Atlanta right now.
That's
like,
why,
a lot of the top players in the Asian American scene in Atlanta, we've recently joined forces here at Unique One Studios, and like, we just plan on having a banner year.
And where do you two see yourself in 3 years?
I just want to, you know, have a established career in tours throughout the world in different countries, have albums of critical acclaim, and have like 1 billion YouTube followers and whatnot. And I just want to be able to support myself and have a real career out of this music stuff.
I plan on looking at this interview and just cracking up. I think we're paving the way. Not to be cocky about it or anything, but I mean, there's no one else I could really, really look up to when it comes to America, except the people that are actually trying to do it right now. Chops, the people right here in this studio tonight. 3 years from now, it's just going to be like, this interview is going to be something that I laugh at, like, dang. We did it that fast.
And do you have any words of advice for anyone that is also trying to pursue a music career?
Take it seriously. Don't like have a selfie of you in the bathroom as your album cover or any kind of promo graphics. Like, you got to show these people that you're serious. You need to have press kits. You need to have promotional videos. You need to have promo graphics. You need to like have logos. You have to have a business plan. You have to be serious. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of rappers who are talented, but they don't have the business sense. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, this music stuff is a business, you know, you have to treat it like one. So write every day, record every day, do as many shows as you can, network with as many people as you can. Like, it's not easy, you know, you're going to lose a lot of sleep, you're not going to have time to waste. That's my advice.
You got to have a team, man.
Yes, absolutely.
You have to rely on people, even if it means relying on a friend that's stolen from you, relying on a person that you knew in high school that you never really liked, because a certain quality about him that really helped your team, and that's why you learn to like him. You're never really supposed to trust, but you have to love a human, and that's what you got to do with your team, because you can't do nothing by yourself.
Yeah, the Other Side mixtape is coming out in February. Be on the lookout for that. Anybody in Atlanta, I'm going to be doing a lot of shows in January and the upcoming months after my release, and I'm just going to be everywhere, you know. I'm just going to be everywhere, so get used to my face and my name being everywhere.
Where can we find you?
I'm working on a website right now, but, you know, you can find me on all the social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, at Timothy Flew. It's all consistent. Spamming everyone about music and showing y'all videos and keeping y'all updated.
For the Yellow Boyz, we're going through a lot of changes, a lot of growing as people, not artists, not musicians, just as people dealing with each other for the past 3-4+ years, and, you know, a little bit of ups that contribute to the future that are, because we've been in the shadows for a while. There's about to be another big bang, and expect your typical drugs, partying, and big booty girl songs to go along with it.
Thank you for speaking with us today.
Hey, thank you, Luann.
Thank you, Luann.